I now have the pleasure to introduce somebody I know quite well. His name is Andy Owen. So I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm going to talk about copy. Words. How many people write copy, by the way? Interesting. Okay. I'm going to talk about how to write copy that sells, because we're all direct marketers, so that's what really we want to do. Everything that we do should sell. So it's going to be fast, it's going to be pacey, because as soon as I finish here, I'm going to disappear, as I said. So I've got 138 slides in 45 minutes. Can he do it? We will see. We will see. It's not numbers are the true currency of business these days. The words we use every day can have a life-altering impact. We know that. The right words will bring us success and everything we want in life. The wrong ones will bring us poor results and failure. How many times have we walked out of a meeting and we've gone, oh, why did I say that? I had an opportunity. Yeah, it's the same with copywriting. Today's tough marketplace, and I don't think it's ever been tougher. I really don't. I've been through 2 recessions, and I think this is the deepest. So in today's tough marketplace, it's vital that we understand the communication process. We do, I believe, smart direct marketers, we understand. And here's why we understand: because we test, we study, and we listen. Very important words. The direct marketing church was built on the testing rock. Yeah? The reason I can go all over the world and say that ad will outpull that ad, or that letter will outpull that, or that headline will outpull that, is because we've tested it. Yeah? And we study, that wonderful word study. As the great man said, the greatest living direct marketer, who you very kindly put in the Hall of Fame yesterday, and he deserved it. You can divide advertising and marketing people into 2 groups, the amateurs and the professionals, and the amateurs are in the majority because they're not students of communication. They guess. Let's guess what's going on. Oh, that looks all right. Let's try that. But professionals don't guess, so we don't waste so much of the client's money, and they like us for that. But to write effectively, you've got to have imagination. You've got to apply discipline and technique, because it is a technical discipline, writing to get people to do things. Every word, every comma, every hyphen you write, every single underline, emboldened text, bullet points, every selling proposition has got to be vivid, believable, and persuasive to the reader. Why otherwise would they buy what you're trying to sell them? Marketers need to understand the power of copy much better, and these guys can help. Wonderful people. I love the history of our business. There is great roots to our business. Please, I implore you to look back. There are great people. The greatest man this industry's ever produced, David Ogilvy. Greatest man that's ever walked on this planet as a marketer, David. The man in the middle, Claude Hopkins, wrote the best book on direct marketing ever published, and I'm going to give it you free later. And it was actually written in 1920, by the way. And every word is as relevant now as it was then. Nothing new in our business, believe me. Drayton, Caples, the wonderful Bill Jamie. For me, the greatest copywriter that's ever walked on the earth. And I've been invited to write the book on Bill. Pretty proud about that. Joe Sugarman, who now lives in Hawaii, enjoying the fruits of his labors as being one of the greatest mail order people ever. These are great people. I implore you to read what they've written. Don't think it's old hat, because it isn't. It's now. Here's the book that you're all going to get later. 1920. David Ogilvy said about it, nobody should be allowed to have anything to do with advertising and marketing unless they have read this book 7 times. It changed the course of my life. If it's good enough for David, it's good enough for you. Yeah, The purpose of a direct response message, what is it? Well, it's to convince the reader, the viewer or listener to perform a positive act as the direct result of having absorbed the message. That's direct mail, that's email, that's ads, that's everything. That's what you've got to do. And recipients of your message will not respond positively. They're not going to unless your copy connects with them. You've got to connect. Then you've got to give them relevance. It's for me. Oh, he's writing. Yes, this is for me. And then you've got to give them an offer. Because, you know, if you don't give them an offer, there will be no sale. We all want an offer now. Don't be frightened of them. Pretty pictures don't sell. They never did. Don't let anybody kid you otherwise. Pretty pictures don't sell. It's words that do the selling. The most misunderstood part of our business. People still don't realize this. The master, what did he say? Creating great copies, 90% preparation and 10% writing. I write every day. At 6:15 this morning, I was doing some changes to a letter for a mailing pack we're doing for a client that I wrote yesterday, that I looked again at this morning and changed. But, you know, I've written for 30 years over that. And I still get a blank piece of paper every now and again and can't get it right. So, but you have to get it, the preparation and then the writing comes to. This is something that when you get the presentation, you will want to put this on your desk. This is the most requested slide ever in all my presentations. Everybody wants this one because it focuses the mind. Who are we writing to? What are we selling? What is the main feature or unique selling point? What's different or better about it? Because people are only going to buy something from you if it's better than the one they've already got. What should the recipient be interested in? Have we made a strong offer? Have we delivered it clearly? What do we want the recipient to do? Have we made it easy for them to respond? Answer those questions. Just think about them. Evaluate the work that you've done and apply those questions. And your work will be better. Communications are the ones that reward. We all like rewards, don't we? So reward people you're writing to. Give them benefits, news, information, solve a problem, or appeal to their emotions. Here's a great example. This was the furniture. This is a furniture retailer in Scotland. And we do all their direct marketing promotion. This was a direct mail pack, but this was the letter that fronted the direct mail pack. And it went to their existing customers, and it was a special sale event. A fantastic event for our very best customers, and here's why. For one exclusive day, you will enjoy an unbelievable 52% off the entire Mackay collection. That's their own collection. And up to 86% off other stuff in store. And down here, there were these odd things like a recliner. It was £1,000, but on the day it's only £149. A three-seater sofa was £500, but only £200. But there's only 8 left. Well, I can tell you what happened was incredible. Because the client rang me at 10:30, and he said, we have had the most incredible thing happen. There were so many people trying to get into the store that the police had to be called. Right? I will dine out on that story forever. Because if you're a copywriter, that is what it's all about. There were people crying because some of these things had gone. Yeah? That's what words can do. That's what they can do. No amount of pictures are going to do that to people. Words have never been more important. And they're going to be even more important in the future because it's all about individuals. We're all individuals. And words can make the difference. And if you underestimate them, well, you're going to lose a ton of money. Here is the Chartered Institute of Marketing. And they have sent an email out, and they cannot spell the word marketing. It's time we all packed up, really, isn't it? Marketing with 2 T's. Can you believe it? The Chartered Institute of Marketing. Breaks my heart. So we must remember that we're talking to individuals, not marketplaces. But we're direct marketers. We should know that. You know, people want to hear about themselves. They don't want. Nobody's waiting to hear from your company. You know, nobody's. Oh yes, they're writing to me. Yes, I have to rip this envelope open, or look at this email. I can't wait to hear from them. You know, some of you girls out there might be waiting to hear from Brad Pitt, but that's for a different reason. Yeah, but people aren't waiting for your communication. They're only interested in themselves. Here's one of the most famous letters ever. It's a 3-page letter from Newsweek. On page 1 and 2 and 3, there are 56 references to you, your or you'll. Because the writer knew that the most important person was the recipient. Yeah? Can you see what they were doing? And in any book of the greatest sales letters ever written, that is proudly there. Because we're now talking to seasoned, skeptical, advertising literate minds. They know what, they see it now, don't they? You can't sneak up on anybody anymore. They know, they see you before you get there. So don't try to con them. We have to realize this, and we have to produce communications that connect and sell as hard as possible. You cannot go to people and say, I am writing to introduce you to the services of my company. The worst opening to a letter in the history of the world is, may I take this opportunity to introduce my company to you? Because the answer is no, you may not. But it's horrible, but people do it. You'll be back at your desks on Monday and you will get letters like that. These people go out of business every day and they deserve to. Introduce you to the services of Purple Technology. Why would I be interested to read on? No reason whatsoever. So we've got to wake up and smell the coffee. This was an old client of mine, and I actually travelled back on the train from London 3 weeks ago, and I just scanned this for a presentation I was doing in Slovenia. And we don't work for them anymore. And I said, Clive, I want to show you something. And he said, what's that? I said, your latest ad in the paper says this. This is a grandstand restaurant on a Greyhound track, a big sweeping restaurant with about 400 covers that overlooks the track, so you can dine while you're having enjoyment of the racing. Look at this, 2-for-1 offer. Bring 20 or more people on any Friday in June and July, and 2 can eat for only $29.95. What about the other 18? He looked at it and he went, oh my God. I said, isn't it about time you started dealing with us again, Clive? Unbelievable, you see. People just forget. So it's tough. It's tough. Because your direct marketing copy is a personal message to someone you don't know who doesn't want to hear from you about a product he or she doesn't want. That's not negative, believe it. People don't want to, your letter or your communication or your emails getting in the way of their day. They don't really want to hear from you, but make them. Yeah? The old ad says it all, doesn't it? I don't know who you are. I don't know your company. I don't know your company's product. I don't know what your company stands for. I don't know your company's customers. I don't know your company's record. I don't know your company's reputation. What was it you were trying to sell me? Don't assume. Work hard. Yeah, that says it all, doesn't it? Why hire a professional copywriter? Well, I do a session that lasts about 45 minutes on that subject, but we haven't got that because Wynn's going to kick me off stage if I run over, especially as what I did yesterday. So I will tell you in one sentence why you should hire a professional copywriter, because they will write better than you. That's why. Everybody works with words, but a professional copywriter knows how to use those words to make people do things. Words with pizzazz, words with influence. Yeah? Very important, because few people write well. Most of the ponytails think it's all about applause. It's not about applause. It's about selling. That's what we do. We're direct marketers. Yeah? Our business is direct response. Everything that we do should generate a response. It's not about looking good or sounding good. It's about making people do things, buy from us. So we have to know the power of words and how it works. How does it work? Well, it's got to have belief. Because if you don't believe in what you're selling to me, then it's going to come over loud and clear and I'm not going to be interested. So there's no reason for the recipient if it's not on. Here's a letter or a pack that we did for a car retailer. The headline says, "How would you like to be driving a newer car in the next few weeks without it costing you a single penny?" Sounds great, doesn't it? That's because it is. Right? Look at the energy in that. And there was a second page, and there was a brochure that went with that. There was an envelope which went with that, which was all in the same thing. It just drove so much business through that car retailer because it had energy, it had belief, it had an offer, and it connected. This is an old ad for a great magazine called The New Yorker. If you don't like New York, why don't you go back to where you came from? Is that fantastic? A magazine with attitude, yeah? And it represents what that magazine is all about. A classic ad, you know, but it has belief. Every single bit of copy should be written to achieve two main objectives, and there's no reason why it can't do both. It should do both. Every single bit of copy should encourage a response, and every single bit of copy should enhance your brand. Because they don't believe you. That's what they're saying when they're reading your copy. I don't believe you, I don't need it, don't have enough time, don't have enough money, and it won't work for me. So when you're putting your promotion together, apply those 5 things and I said, have I given them enough reason to believe me? Have I given them enough reason so they need it? Have I told them why time and money don't come into it? And have I told them why it will work for them? Apply those things. It's simple, but you'll get great dividends. It's a specialist art. It is. Writing copy that sells. I learn things every day, and I've been writing for a long, long time. Copy's king, and nothing hurts more than bad layouts. Don't let the art director get in the way of the words. The copywriter controls it, not the art director. Words do the selling. Look at that for a horrible mail order letter. Would anybody in this room want to even look at that? The way it's been structured, it looks like it's been put together by the T-boy. There's no structure to it. There's no approach to it. The paragraphs are too big. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And this is from the Royal Mail. They have never, in the history of the organization, the Royal Mail, known what they're doing. They never have. They're hopeless. Their promotions are even worse. Look at this. Somebody has decided that's good because it will get attention and people will go, oh, isn't this nice? When your business gets snowed under, we can help you through it. Yeah, do they think that people are going to make the time to read that? They're not. They're just going to throw it away. And that's what the idiot who wrote that or came up with that idea deserves. Terrible. Your direct response copy isn't written as an artistic endeavor, so don't write big words in it. Don't show people around the office, look, I've got these big words in my letter, aren't I clever? Because if you write to me and it's got a big word in it and I don't know what that word means, I'm going to hate you. I'm not going to buy from you. Everyday words, as you'll see later. Technique comes before art. And there's 3 kinds of writers. Those who write without thinking, and the world's full of those. Those who think while they write. And what happens is the copy is fragmented, it has no flow. What you want is those who think before they write, who plan, who understand who they're writing to, what the offer is, why they should buy it, and structure your letter accordingly. There is a 4th, actually, idiots who think they're clever. This is wonderful. Wonderful because it's so bad. This is a new business agency who wrote to me. Alchemists, let's keep it simple. Please check the relevant boxes and fax or post it back to me. I have never heard of alchemists. That's the first box. I have No need for a new business agency. I use a new business agency. I would like to find out more. And the last one is never darken my door again. Oh my God. But look at that signature. What is that? I have an opinion about people and spaceships, but we haven't got time to go through that. But I think certainly she was one that was left behind by the mothership. And you think I'm making fun, but actually this will affect the response. I mean, the whole thing is horrible. But what happened, a few years later, she wrote to me again. And never darkened my door again. But what's happened here? She's had a few problems in the intervening years. Can you believe it? Any copy which talks to the right person at the right time, appeals to the person's self-interest, has a great chance of being successful, and he doesn't have to be clever to do so. You've got to connect, you've got to be clear, you've got to offer benefit, and that wonderful word, verisimilitude, which means the appearance of truth. Everything's got to look right, fit together right, sound right, because they're only waiting to find something that they don't like, and they'll be out of there. So you've got to write like you talk. That's the great way to get under people's radar. If you let your words flow easily and with a natural rhythm, people are reading the letter and they don't realize. This was a letter which was inside the front of a mail order catalogue that is quite big in the UK, Bowden's. Ahem. As I've probably turned up unexpectedly, I should introduce myself. My name is Johnny Bowden. Hello. Quite a few years ago, I set up a small clothing company because I wanted to make life a bit more, well, lively. We make colourful, stylish clothes that are individual, fun, and so well made that they will withstand anything life throws at them. Give us a go with your no-risk offer over leaf, and I'm confident you'll see what I mean. Just because it's autumn, you don't have to be grey and gloomy like the weather. Enjoy. Johnny Bowden. Don't you like him? You do. Yeah? Because he connects straight away. So he's overcome the biggest hurdle. You like him. So if his clothes are as good as he says he is, then probably you'll do business. Lovely. Simple words are the most effective in copy. So don't do what standard healthcare did. And the third word in is conundrum. It's a selling letter. It's a conundrum, isn't it? They have no chance. They have no chance. Simple words. Because great letters, when read aloud, sound just like a friend talking to you. And here's one of the best ever. This ran for 26 years. And they tested it against everything, and nothing beat this letter. Nothing. Your career isn't about money, is it? I didn't think so. It's about something deeper. Something so central to your core, to what makes you tick, you can't imagine living without it. It's about leadership, having your say, making things happen, putting your stamp on the future. And interestingly, you see that paragraph there. A bad copywriter would have said, it's about leadership and having your say, and making things happen, and putting your stamp on the future. But the way he broke it up into all those separate things makes it so much more powerful. See? Probably one of the greatest 5 letters ever written in our business. 26 years. Can you imagine writing copy that lasts 26 years? 5 words to avoid in your copy, and you're all going, oh no, I use these. Because people do. Quality, value, service, caring, and integrity. Yeah? We all offer a quality service, don't we? No. But if you offer a quality service, tell me what's quality about it. Tell me what's better. Put some meat on the bones. These are all lazy words. They don't say anything. They don't sell. They're what I call neutral words. You can replace them with things that are better. Here's some. They're all good. They're all emotional. They're all powerful, positive words. There's 2 there that are head and shoulders above everything else. I haven't got time to do the hands up for obvious reasons, but I will tell you that the second most important word in the copywriter's lexicon is the word free. Don't be afraid to use it. Free is very powerful. But the most important word there is you. All those words are extremely powerful. They tend to work very well because they relate to three vital elements. The single most important element that makes copy work is benefits. People have to have benefits. They're only interested in the benefits of your product, not the features of your product. The next most important thing is news. The best copy contains news of benefits, and most of them are emotional words. Emotion, very important. And when you're writing copy, you have to keep them reading. That's why these are very important. If I've written a strong headline and you're reading it, and you're into the first paragraph and you're reading it, then I've got to make sure you go on to the second paragraph. Don't stop abruptly at the end of paragraph 1 and go on to something else, because you'll lose the reader. So these really connect paragraphs. What's more, for example, and, start a sentence with and, yeah? Your teachers told you should never do that. What the hell do they know? They don't write copy for a living. And is a great way to start a sentence because it connects what's gone previously. But you must start well. Opening paragraph, you've got to get people into the letter. That's where most people make the mistakes. You see letters with 6, 7 line paragraphs. It's death. It's instant death. You have to get them in. The opening paragraph between 8 and 12 words. 6 is great, 4 is better, 2 is wonderful, and 1 can be sensational. Here's a letter that worked gangbusters for us. This is one of our clients' Time-Out. And I'll just show you the start of the letter. 13 free issues of Time-Out for only 99p, a saving to you of £29.56. Madness! That's the only word for it. We're going to be in big trouble. They're not going to continue to take it. 2 years, 1 month later, 86% of the people that took up that offer are still with them. Be brave. Yeah? See, that's a big mail order company. Look at that opening paragraph. Look how many lines there are. There's no encouragement to get in and read it. It's horrible. That's a 2-page letter, really, and somebody's crammed it onto 1 because they're penny pinchers. Oh, it'll cost us more to have 2-page. No, it won't. It'll cost you even more by doing it this way because no one will read the bloody thing. So be enthusiastic. Don't raise doubts. This was the actual ad that Ernest Shackleton ran in the Times before he went to the pole on that famous but tragic expedition. Men wanted for hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months of complete darkness, constant danger, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in case of success. That's the ad. He wasn't pulling any punches there, was he? And he told the truth too. Testimonials, very important. Use them whenever you can. And remember that no one's interested in what your product does, your product or service does. They're only interested in what it does for them. Very different. Here we go. This particular company, first, second, third paragraph, all talking about them. TCS Media is a top 10 independent. TCS have full accreditation. Here at TDS, see, all they're doing is talking about themselves. That doesn't sell. I want to know what they're going to do for me. They don't tell me. And I never read long letters. That's another old wives' tale. Here's one from the great man, Drayton. That was a 16-page letter. 16 pages selling this resort in Grenada. Yeah? And it produced so much business because Drayton writes well. So he got them into the letter. And once you're in the letter, a good copywriter knows that once they've got people reading that letter, it's like a retail scenario. Yeah? Once you're in the store, a good retailer will know that if the longer he keeps you in the store, the more chance he has of you buying. But don't write 16-page letters if you only need to write a 2-page to sell what you're selling, obviously. Copy has to be relevant to what you're selling. A letter is not long or short, it's interesting or uninteresting. That is very uninteresting. Standard life, people in the financial industry, financial services haven't got a clue. We're all paying for their lack of understanding. They're hopeless. Look at that. Would you really read that? It's not attractive at all. And watch your punctuation and spelling. Very important. If you send something to me and it's spelt wrong, you're never going to get through. I get CVs from people, yeah, and they can't even spell in the CVs. What chance have they got of getting the job? That was pushed under my door in Moscow. Yeah, I came back from business meetings, and right under the door was, "Dear guest, we've got a massage for you." I thought, yes. I've heard about these Russians, they're good. Wow. So I rang down and I said, "Hey, yeah, well, I've just got this note." "Yes, yeah, we'll send the message up in a minute." "What?" "We have the message for you." "Oh, it's not a massage." "No, message." Gee. And I arrived at Saudi Arabia for a masterclass I was doing down there. And I traveled all the way down, and they were meeting me at the airport, the Intercontinental Hotel. And, you know, you walk out of this strange airport, and there's all these people with boards and everything. And I walked to the end of the line, and, oh, no, don't say they're not here. And then all of a sudden I've gone, Owen? Andy Owen? So I said to the guy, "Can I have a look at your board?" "Ah, yeah, Mr. Indu." "No, let me have a look." And there it was, Andy Owen. The hotel thought it was hilarious. I didn't. So use all the arrows, dots, all these dashes, and those are very important. You can continue what you've said in paragraph 1 into paragraph 2. Very important punctuation, because you control the delivery, the pace of the delivery, if your punctuation's right. And emotion, of course, an emotional sales argument is always more powerful than an intellectual one. So if you've got some intellectual words in your copy, replace them with emotional ones, and it will work better. I guarantee it. As the President of Brazil said, pockets are the most sensitive part of a human being. That's why we need to touch the hearts and minds first. And look at this for an ad. Remember your first love. Come on. Yeah? We can all do that. Just think for a second. The person you first loved, right? What does it say afterwards? Multiply that by 1,000. Is that car that good? I want some of that. Emotional copy, but it works very powerfully. Don't forget to tell the reader what to do, because that's what we're all about. We sell or else. So very quickly, some samples of good copy and bad copy. This won a lot of awards. This actually launched the Land Rover Discovery in the UK, and it went to business people from the Land Rover dealers. Can I tempt you to take 3 hours away from it all? 3 hours, a full morning or afternoon, in which to remind yourself of all the reasons why you work so hard. To take to the road in the latest Discovery without obligation and without a dealer in the seat beside you. Very clever. Because really, they're addressing the objections before you've even got them. Because what we would hate is to, get into a showroom and have some smelly salesman, all over us, trying to get in the car with us. No, they've sold it. Sold shiploads of cars. That won every DM award going in 1993. This is currently working so well for us, for a client in London, a magazine called Prospect, that is up there with The Spectator and The Economist. And when I started to write this, and we had the brief through, I saw a Michael Palin quote. And I thought, this is very interesting, we could use this. So I used the quote as a headline in the letter. I only ever take 2 publications on my travels, Prospect and the Herald Tribune, Michael Palin. That letter has been running for 2 years and delivers massive responses. Psychology Today, I don't have to leave that. This is an email I got from the Birmingham Chamber of Commerce, the second city in the UK. It's a tender breakfast. They can't spell the word breakfast in the subject line. A Chamber of Commerce. Should we all pack up and go? Huh? This is a campaign that we did for a car retailer in Dubai selling Maseratis, and it went to very high-profile local people. This personal exclusive invitation from Maserati could be worth more than 190,000 dirhams to you. That's about £40,000. That's how strong this offer was. Maserati, a legend amongst cars. A car mark that oozes style, eloquence, performance, and power. To be seen driving one says more about you than almost anything you can imagine. See what I was doing when I wrote that? I was getting under them, making them feel important. And he drove a lot of people to the showroom. I'm going to try and whiz through these now. That actually went out many years ago with an actual dollar bill on the top of the letter. Fantastic letter, again in the book of greatest letters ever written. As you can see, I have attached a nice crisp $1 bill to the top of this letter. Why have I done this? Actually, there are two reasons. I have something very important to tell you, and I needed some way to make sure it could catch your attention. And secondly, since the message on this letter can quickly double or triple your income, I thought using a dollar bill as an eye catcher was especially appropriate. Fantastic, fantastic. This is good because it talks about me. Virgin Media, TV, broadband and unlimited UK weekend calls for £9 a month, available until the 30th of June in Berkswell Close, which is where I live. So the headline grabbed me straight away. That's for me. And they do good direct marketing. Look at this, Mr. Herschel Garden Lewis, box 15725, Plantation, Florida. Dear Mr. Beechwood. What? You're not Mr. Beechwood. We know that, Mr. Lewis. Do you know what they were selling? Address correction software. How bloody clever is that? Get somebody's salutation wrong and admit it in the letter. And look at that. What? You know, that's so much effect there. Okay. The vast majority still don't know how to do it. This is the second worst opening of a letter ever. I'm the guy whose face appears at the bottom of this page. Can you believe people do that? And that's got just a lot of blah, blah, blah. So conclusions, because I'm being told I've got to get off now. What can effective copy offer marketers in today's tough world? Well, something that we all want, something that we all need, and that's results. Yeah? This was a very simple mailing, as you can see. All it was a two-color outer envelope, a response envelope, a response form, which was personalized, and a one-page letter selling a book on architecture, or roofs rather, to architects and builders. Very, very simple, and it delivered 50% response rate because the copy was good, the offer was good, the targeting was good, and you don't have to spend a lot of money if you do it right. Two websites I recommend, I would, because they're both mine. Yeah? There's lots of stuff on there. I encourage you to go on. There's over 40 articles that are all free to download. Yeah? Articles like how to write email copy, how to write website copy, how to produce an ad that sells, all that kind of stuff, and they're all there. There's award-winning creative. There's a new critique service as well. So if you want me to look at anything you've done and give you my honest opinion on whether it's good or bad, I will do that. And there's a brand new DVD just out as well. And anybody wants it, I'm going to give you my email address in a minute. There's a special deal for everybody that's in this room. And here's the book. Now, to get the book, what you've got to do is you've got to email me. That is my email address. But when I woke up this morning, I had 141 emails in my inbox. Yeah? So if you're going to cut through, because remember, the two most important things on email marketing are the subject line and the sender's name. Yeah? I don't know anybody in this room, well I do, but the vast majority of you I don't know. So if I get an email from somebody I don't know, unless the subject line is relevant to me, then I won't open it. So there's a challenge here, but I would suggest, because I want you all to have the book, so this is not anything else, I would suggest that you put something like India or Mumbai or whatever you want to put, yeah? David Ogilvy or whatever. But, because I want you all to have the book, okay? The greatest sales letter ever written. Anybody wants to see that, it'll be in my slides, but that's the Wall Street Journal letter. I won't read it because I haven't got time, but it generated £1.3 billion worth of business, just the letter. That's how good it was. It's the Mona Lisa. That's why I put her up. And, of course, I was very honored when I was asked to write the current Wall Street Journal letter. Great copy comes from people who study. So what you don't know can hurt you more than you realize. So study, please. I try put those guys up there. Study. Really dig down into our business because there's some great people there. Be committed, yeah? Pay attention to detail. Your punctuation, spelling, your delivery. It's very important. Have a broad mind. Listen and learn. And here are the people you should, as well as those people, you know, again, they'll be in the slides, so please dig out what you can on these people. There's scientific. There's what you've got to do to get it. 10 vital direct marketing commandments to finish then, and I'm out of here. I would recommend you do these things, except you're not in control anymore. The customer is. DM specialists that study will know more than you. Use them. Look back, they're great treasures to uncover. Spelling, punctuation, and grammar are essential, so get them right. Copy is now king in contemporary communication. Accept it, don't fight it. Pretty pictures don't sell. Spend more on existing customers than new customers. They're your lifeblood. Tell them you love them. Test, and test till you're absolutely fed up of testing. Don't be a gullible marketer and follow the latest fashion. Respect your customers and stay close to them, and be brave and use your imagination. I will leave you with that. 138 slides, and I think I was only 2 or 3 minutes, was I? I hope you enjoyed it. It's been lovely to share my time with you. Thank you.